Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so today I want to start with having us watch part of a commercial that I'm sure we've all seen. It's an ASPCA commercial, and
Oh, just click escape. Farther.
oh,
Sorry. Sorry. No, yeah.
okay, I don't want to make you guys too sad this morning, so we're gonna go ahead and go back to this.
That way. Go. Stop. And then all the way to the left.
Okay, so as we saw in the video, those are some examples of the types of animals that often end up in animal shelters. And they end up there because of animal dumping and stray dogs and all of those kind of things. And so these are some examples of the kinds of animals that you should be adopting from shelters instead of going to breeders or puppy mills to buy your animals. So most of you have probably had a pet that you've loved a lot growing up, am I right? Okay, or you were really close to someone who's had that experience with a pet. Personally, I've had several dogs growing up. This is my dog Houdini. He just showed up at my house. He was dumped and he was beaten by someone, and we weren't able to find his owner, so I begged my parents to let me keep him as our own. But if he would have showed up in other places, he's the type of animal that would often end up in shelters. And he's the reason that I believe people should adopt from shelters to decrease the overpopulation problems that shelters face that leads to animal killing. And the causes of that include animal dumping and strays, and they can easily be decreased through adoption and prevention of the problem. So first we're going to go over the problems that animal shelters face, and then we're going to talk about the factors that cause these problems, and lastly we'll go through some simple steps that you can do to help with the problems. So many of us have heard of animal shelters, but we probably don't know about the specific problems that they face. The big one being overpopulation. So according to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals website, which was last updated in 2017, incredible because they were the first humane society established in North America, about 6.5 million animals enter animal shelters every year around the United States. And out of the 6.5 million, 3.2 million are adopted, 710,000 are reunited with their owners, but unfortunately about 1.5 million are killed in shelters because they're deemed unadoptable. So most of these animals are killed through euthanizing them, which is an injection into their bloodstream, which is like a painless and quick way of death, and it's the most honorable way to kill an animal. But many shelters still use torturous methods, including shooting the animals, which often takes multiple shots and is very painful for the animal, lung decompression chambers and gas chambers, and even electrocution, which is according to the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals website, last updated in 2017, credible because it is the largest animal rights organization in the world. So now we see that many animals are killed every year in shelters due to the overpopulation of the shelters. So now that you know the basic problems that shelters face, let's look at what causes these problems. So a variety of factors lead to the overpopulation, but let's look at how animals end up in shelters. So like I said earlier, many of them are strays, which includes runaway pets and dumped pets. Other animals end up in shelters because their owners bring them to shelters when they're unable to take care of them anymore or just don't want to take care of them anymore. And some other reasons they end up in shelters include puppy mills and breeders sending what they call their unsellable animals to shelters, like the runts of litters and stuff, the ones that people don't want to buy. And then also a lot of unwanted litters end up in animal shelters due to accidental animal pregnancies, which is also according to the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals website, last updated in 2017, credible because it is the largest animal rights organization in the world. So while the problem is easy to pinpoint, the causes of the problem has many more variables, as you've seen. So Although there are many contributing factors to the problem, there are also some very simple steps that you can personally take to help deal with it. So you can take steps as a pet owner. So if you already own a pet, simply go and get your pet spayed or neutered, which not only helps the overall overpopulation problem of shelters, but it also has positive impacts on your pet's health. So for female pets, they are less likely to have the risk of uterine infections or breast tumors, and they won't go into heat. And for male pets, they're less likely to get testicular cancer. They won't run away as often in search of a mate, and they will have overall better behavior, according to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals website, last updated in 2017, which is credible because they were the first humane society established in North America. Now, if you don't yet have a pet, but you're looking for one, so what I call future pet owners, you can simply look for a pet at a shelter instead of at a breeder or a puppy mill. And this can greatly decrease the overpopulation problem, according to the Humane Society of the United States website, last updated in 2017, credible because they are the nation's most effective animal protection organization. So I have this a picture from the Kansas City Wayside Waifs shelter. Its adoption process only takes anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. And it also includes a special bonding time with the animal that is overseen by a volunteer at the shelter to ensure that you and the animal have a good match and to ensure what they call forever homes for their animals, which is according to the Wayside Waifs website updated in 2017, credible because they are KC's largest no-kill shelter. So even though the problem seems daunting, small steps can make a big difference. Through participating in these simple steps, we can personally help to reduce the number of animal lives lost in shelters every year. So just to wrap things up, I want to go over what we talked about today. So first we talked about the overpopulation problems and what that means for the animals that are in shelters. We talked about the causes of overpopulation, and we talked about some simple solutions that you can be a part of. Now, before you leave here today, I want you to think about your pet. This is my dog, Chief. And if you care about your pet, or just animals in general, I want you to join me in sharing a picture of your pet on social media, along with the message of the importance of having your pets spayed and neutered. Thank you.
Awesome, great job.